Alright, so today I want to talk to you guys about spending. Right? For those of you out there who might find yourself having a little trouble keeping track of your spending, maybe you're spending more than you should be, you're constantly set yourself a plan to spend an amount of money, but you end up spending more than that amount of money, and you find it hard to stay within a budget. I have something that I think could help. Now, what you'll need is a bank account that allows you to set up spending pots that are separate from your main account, and also allows you to set up virtual cards that you could assign to each spending pot. Now, I don't know if Monzo's the only one that does this. They're probably not. They're just the only one that I know that does it. And you do have to pay for the feature to have the virtual cards. That being said, I think it's totally worth it because you get a whole bunch of cool stuff along with it. It's not just virtual cards. You get cinema tickets and free coffees, and you get it pays for itself. But you know what? I'm not sponsored by Monzo, so let me just leave it there. But the point is, you need a bank account that allows you to set up individual spending pots, and allows you to set up virtual cards that you could assign to each spending pot. Now, here's what you're going to do. Once you've got that, you're going to go through your finances and your whatnots, and you're going to decide what you need to spend on what. So, for example, let's say you travel to and from work 3, 4, 5 days a week, however many days a week, and you spend however much you spend on travel per month, right? So you're going to set up a spending pot for travel. You're going to call that travel, for example, and you're going to put your travel money in there. However much you spend a month on travel, you're going to put it in that pot. Then you're going to set up a virtual card and assign that virtual card to that pot. So you're going to have a pot for travel, a virtual card for travel. Anytime you use that virtual card, it's just going to come out that travel pot. It's not going to come out your main account, not going to come out any other account. It's just going to come out of that travel pot that you set up. And you're going to do the same for other things you do. So, for example, if you like to enjoy a coffee at the local coffee shop, set up a pot for that, call it the coffee pot, literally the coffee pot. And then you can put however much you spend on coffee in that pot, set up a virtual card and assign that virtual card to that pot. So anytime you go to a coffee shop, you're going to use the virtual card that's assigned to the coffee shops, right? Or the coffee pot rather. And you're going to do the same for other things you do, whether that's your grocery shopping or money that you like to have fun with and just, treat yourself or whatever. But you're going to set up however many pots you need and assign virtual cards to each of those pots, and only use those cards for the things that they assigned for. So here's what you're going to do after you've done all that. We ain't done yet. You're then going to take those virtual cards and add them to your Apple Pay wallet or your Google wallet on your phone, and then make sure those are the only cards on your Google Wallet or your Apple Pay, right? The only cards on your phone are those virtual cards that you set up. Not your credit card, not your other debit cards, not your this card, your that card, just those cards. And that way, when you go out into the world and you're spending money on this, you're only using those cards that are assigned for the pots that you've already set up. And what that means is that if you ever try to spend more money than you have in those pots, it's going to say, Now, to be fair, you can just go in and add some more money to each pot. But the point is that once you've done it in that way, it gives you a very kind of clear visual reminder to stay within your limits. You know what I mean? So if you are having trouble staying within your spending limits, if you are having trouble sticking to your spending plans and things like that, I think stuff like this could help. Granted, it's not going to be the be all and end all, and you still need a little bit of discipline. But I think if you set it up that way, it makes it easier to stay within your discipline. All right? Peace.